Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we are going to look at how to animate the alien guy that we model coming down the hill, sneaking in. Later on we will add grass and then we will see how to make the character interact with the grass. Okay, so we'll see how to animate the character and then set this scene up in Blender. So in Blender, once you have modeled your character, make sure that the character position is at 0. So name it alien, whatever it is, and then all the modifiers are applied. So we just have a clean mesh. Then go to File, Export FBX, and export the file as a FBX file. And then we will go in Mixamo and we will import the character. Called alien export, and it will come in Mixamo. Click on next. Everything looks good here. The chin is here, the wrist is here somewhere, elbow is here, knee is here, and then the groin is here. Okay, we'll click on next. The character will be rigged. Our character is ready. Click on next. We'll select this walk, search for walk. We'll make it in place. You can work on the posture. We want him to stand a little bit straight. The speed should be less. Overdrive can be slightly up. The arm spacing can be up. And that looks good. We will download this file. Okay. So download it. I already downloaded it. We'll go to Blender, go to File, New, and we'll go to File, Import, FBX, Blender, Skin Modifier. Crouching Walk is the downloaded file. I'll bring it up. And now you can see that the character is walking. Now we want the character to walk more. So what I'll do is simply all the keyframes are selected. If they are not, you can make sure they are selected and do Shift D and move the keyframes. And then you can select both of these, Shift D again, and then move it. And then if you want, you can do it one more time if you want. Okay. So our character is going to walk for a long time now. From 0 to 200 frames, the character is walking. Now what we want to do is we want the character to be connected to the box. So when the box moves, the character will move. So we'll select the armature, shift select the box, control P, object. Now I can move the object and then the character will move with the object. Okay. So the cube, I'll call it dummy. And then under the dummy, we have the armature. Okay, so if you want to hide the armature, you can hide it. Now we'll add a plane and scale it big. Okay, this is going to be our ground. We'll go to object, apply scale. Then I'll hit the tab key, right click, subdivide, and I'll say maybe 6 subdivisions is good enough. Then I will select one vertex, this one, and then I'll turn the soft selection on and I'll move this up and I will increase the influence so we get a mountain for the character to come down from, and then we can add a subdivision modifier. I'm going to object, shade smooth. Okay, now we want the character to come down the mountain, so I'll hit the tab key and I'll hit the alt edge here, select this edge, right click and say separate selection. Okay, and I'll name this curve path. Okay, now this curve path is a mesh right now, not this. This is our ground. This is our curve path, and this will be converted to a curve. Alright, so now the curve is following the ground. Now we'll select our box and then we'll go to not modifier but constraints. We'll add a follow path constraint and then we'll select our curve path. Once you click on the animate path, the character will follow the path. And you can change the location of the character by clicking on the z-axis. So what we want is to position the character on top of the mountain, and I will hit the I key to add a keyframe to the front at 199 is okay. I. Okay. We'll go to graph editor, view, frame selected, and then we will make this linear. So the character is now walking in the front. So we'll go back to timeline, and there we can go to the viewport display and change this to bounds so we don't see the ground, and then we need to change this so the character is on the ground. And you can play with the speed of the character if there is any sliding. Okay, and then the character looks like he's walking properly. Then you can set up the textures, remove the specularity, add the roughness, select the character, add some color to the character, set up your camera, select the camera and change the end clipping to a bigger number. Set up your camera. We can make the camera follow the character, so we can select the camera, go to constraints and add track 2 and add armature there so the camera will follow the character. And then you can add a plane in the background. Scale it big. Add a sky texture and put it in the back. We can select this and then we can add a track 2 constraint to the camera. Then we can track it to the camera and then place it so that it works well with the camera. Okay, and now you have a okay, bring the area of the cloud that is there in the scene. Okay, to render this, we will hide this and then output, select where you want to save it. Save it as a FFmpeg encoding MPEG 4. We'll do 180 frames. So end is 180. And then let us save it in a place. Space, Blender, then try. Go to View, Viewport Render Animation. And it is going to render your animation and save it in the place you want. In the next class, we'll look at how to add grass and then the character will interact with the class.